Well, joining us tonight, former cricketer Atul Vasan, Sadbing Jung, former Ranji player Sanjay Jha, founder of cricketnext.com, also with us. But Atul Vasan, let me begin first with you. That letter that he sent to the BCCI pretty much summed it up. He said, all my life I've had a dream of playing cricket for India. I've been living this dream every day for the last 24 years. It's hard for me to imagine a life without playing cricket. This is a man who's lived and breathed the game every stage of his life.
Yeah, it's so typical of Tendulkar being non-controversial, again thanking the board, and sometimes I've held it against him that, he's set every foot right. But sometimes I'd wished that he would have stuck his neck out, in a few times in his career where he could have stood against the board, against the players when the first match-fixing scandal broke out, played, pushed his backing for the Players Association, and other times, and wishful thinking like he never got a triple 100, I thought, for a player that was a par for the course. But again, what he has achieved is, if you can see, the biggest compliment to him is in a team sport, this guy has stood out and even overshadowed the very game he has played. And I think that says a lot about him. I remember by the first two together when we were roommates, and he missed his first 100, he got on 88, and he was crying, like literally tears, he could have been the youngest in the world to get 100. And in Manchester, when he eventually got in the next tour, I was the 12th man, and he almost played a couple of rash shots. So I said, you're gonna cry again. So just make sure you get to the 100, because we were about to lose that test match as well. So from there, last 5-7 years has been a big bonus for me. Eventually seeing him getting the first double 100 in ODI. So, all these emotions are coming, and I've heard a lot of rhetoric since afternoon. But no matter what you say, his just contribution cannot be termed in the records and what he has achieved for India.
Right, Sanjay Jha, I mean, those records speak for themselves. They're really quite staggering when you think about them. But this is a man who's more than an aggregate of just his records. He's someone who's brought people to his feet every time, every time he's entered a stadium. He's brought joy, in a sense, to cricketers all around the world, not just in India. What is it that makes Sachin Tendulkar who he is?
Very frankly, Ankita, if you look at, we keep saying, using this cliche in India, that cricket is a religion. And I guess that's the reason why Sachin Tendulkar is called God. He's been part of the great Indian dream. If you look at the time when he made his debut, I mean, India has transformed into one great nation. We have seen growth and progress, and especially post the 1990s. And in a great number of ways, Tendulkar is a manifestation of the great Indian dream, of the fact that as one of his product advertisements said that he endorses, that impossible is nothing. So, he's a man who's obviously crossed all boundaries. And, it's impossible to even right now think that he made his debut 6 years after, Kapil Dev and Gavaskar and Vengsakar were still playing. So, look at the fact that the endurance, the sheer almost infallibility of a man who bore the responsibility on his young shoulders of a billion dreams every time he went out to bat. I mean, it's incredible. But for me, the one moment that I shall never forget is, I remember after that terrible human carnage that happened in Mumbai in 26/11 in the year 2008, and a few weeks later we were playing a match against England, and he scored 103 not out, and in a big partnership with Yuvraj Singh, we crossed England's 387 and won that match batting fourth. And I remember at the time he said, I dedicate my century to the people of Mumbai. And for a lot of us who were feeling very depressed and low, and Mumbai was looking like one crestfallen city, still recovering from the shock of what had happened, his one century and that dedication meant wonders. I remember meeting people in Mumbai who suddenly looked cheerful and buoyant, and even suddenly feeling a sense of spirit return. So one man who impacts a nation such, I think it's an incredible story. Already the moment he's announced his retirement, he's still there, he's going to play one match, but I can sense the emotional downpour, and I could sense it in many tweets that I saw on social media. But for me, it's like saying that cricket without Tendulkar will be like watching Hamlet without the Prince of Denmark.
Sadbing Jung, do you think, in a sense, there's going to be this gaping hole now in the game? Already so much talk about the number 4 position and how it's going to be a litmus test for anyone really to fill it. I've been reading about an online petition which says, let's do away with the number 4 position altogether. And is that really the sort of position Sachin Tendulkar has held in that team?
Well, listen, I think the gaping hole was there a long time back, and actually Sachin came and filled it up. From the whole of today, everything has been said, and even what Atul and the other gentleman came in and said is so right about Sachin. But, you know, there's one thing that I want to say, and this is the greatness of Sachin Tendulkar. How he stands out from anybody else, how he is, in a view, as a batsman, probably I feel Sunil may be better, but as a cricketer, as an overall cricketer, how he stood out and how he took India to this incredible position that we are in right now. The first thing is that when Sachin started playing, the game was shifting from amateur to professional. Now people don't understand that, but actually there's a huge shift in the game itself, and Sachin mastered that.